This is Ravit and Murray again on the Nasty Divorces podcast. Just to remind you, we're not lawyers and we're not therapists. We are two divorced parents on a mission to demystify nasty divorces, understand how and why they're becoming an epidemic, discuss the problems we see in today's divorces, along with provide solutions.
You girls talk to each other.
You think?
Oh my God, you talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Guys don't talk like this, but you guys, you will take your relationship and dissect it with your friends and see, well, what do they think? And guys, well, this guy at least, say, what are you doing bringing our relationship to your friends' ears?
Yeah.
You know, but society encourages women to talk about their relationships to each other. Men apparently are encouraged to man up and not submit to those feelings. Bury them. Don't work them out. So the question then, is it any wonder that things bubble up in the years later when they try to find love again? So we're back to coping again,
Oh
as
my.
we were talking in our last show.
So let's see. Women talk to each other. They find, they're really good at finding a social support. And they very easily jump from one support group to another. So if at the beginning of your divorce you're angry and agitated, you're going to find the other women who are angry and agitated, and you'll start sharing stories, and he did, and she said, and he did, and he said, and a lot of that. Now, the problem with that is that it becomes the I hate my ex club. And when you're in I hate my ex club, you're not really getting out. And you're not dealing with your grief and your loss properly. So you're just finding women who are, egging you on to hate him even more. Now, the more you hate him, the more your issues escalate, the faster your divorce is going to turn nasty pretty quickly. So let's say you get out of the I hate my ex club, and you're going to the next club, right? In the next support system. Then you're going to start sharing information, and you're going to start realizing one of the women there is a loon, and you're getting sick and tired of her. So you're going to leave that club, and then you're going to go to the next club. So women are always going to find the club that fits them the best for whatever suits their needs at that time. So if they've evolved, they're going to find a group that evolves with them. I don't think that men have that. I don't think that men are going to, go to the gym, and as they're done their workout, go and talk to each other and say, hey, I'm having a hard time with my ex and this and that, and start having a heart-to-heart. I'm like, do you agree with me?
Absolutely, I don't do that.
Okay.
After a good sweaty game of squash or whatever, the last thing in the world I want to be doing is talking over a beer or over a healthy shake.
Because you're drinking the healthy shakes, right?
Yeah, over a relationship that's gone sour. And if a guy did that to me, an acquaintance, you'll talk to anyone. It's amazing.
Yeah, we would. We're very lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that we're very lucky that you can do that, because we feel that our private life is now exposed to all.
Well, you know what? If you don't want your private life to be exposed and you don't want to end up looking like a dick, don't be a dick.
Oh, gee,
okay?
That was simple.
We're pretty simple, right? We're not such complicated people.
No, but you are perfect. I'm reading that.
Yeah. No, but listen, if there's an issue in a relationship and you're still together, I agree that I don't think it's the right thing to be talking to your friends and start spilling the beans. And we did this and we did that, and it was like this and it was like that. I think it's going to end up ruining the relationship. And also, your girlfriends are going to think very differently of this guy the next time they see him. And and you don't want them to be only on your side. You want them to be on both of your sides. Like, it's not one pinning against the other.
And what are you doing, you girlfriend, bringing all the negatives in our relationship to your friends?
I think it's an insecurity. If a woman is insecure, doesn't have the answer, and is really seeking an answer or validation of some sort, she's going to go and talk to all her girlfriends and get 22 different opinions.
Yeah, but if you're only bringing negative, you're only going to get supportive stuff that shows him to be a dick. And
unless you have a very realistic, upfront girlfriend like me, who's not going to give you the sob story when you don't need it. Yeah. There's not that many out there like me who are so blunt and open. But women in general are very empathetic, and they're there to sympathize with you and feel the emotions with you. And I don't go down that path, not because I'm a cold-hearted, crazy woman, but because I found that for me specifically, the more I get into that, the more I make their story my story. And I don't want to feel their emotions, and I don't want to feel negatively with their boyfriends or their husbands if they're not, they're not divorcing.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to reason with them on a very different level, and it's sort of like I'm half man, half woman at this point, right? But I do have, many friends who are on social media all day long, and they're just, sympathizing with all these women. I'm so sorry, hugs and kisses virtually, and this and that. And it's great, and it's great to have it, but I think you need a balance of both, and many don't.
A lot of guys really have a belief that they should be able to deal with their own problems, solve their own problems, don't need anybody else's outside help. Asking for help is weakness.
Oh, there we go again.
That's, yeah, I know. And in the generations of not that many generations ago, it was true that men would not stop and ask for directions when lost. By the way, I will ask for directions anytime.
Really?
Yeah, but
Why
apparently
not?
guys don't ask for directions because that's a sign of weakness.
But you can't figure out where you're going. So
Yeah.
why? So you don't care about the weakness then?
I have no clue. I have no problem.
No problem with it.
Because I'm not weak.
Okay,
I
but do you have
don't-
problems with other things? Do you have problems? Do you talk to your friends, your guy friends, about issues
Yeah,
because you're just not interested in them knowing anything?
yeah, I'll figure it out.
Do you-
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember one time you told me that you have a friend of yours who just got divorced, and he found out he got divorced and posted it all over Facebook? And
Yes.
and you were thinking to yourself like, "Holy cow! I
What?
can't believe you just did that."
That's moronic.
Yeah, moronic for you, but in a woman's point of view, it may not seem so moronic.
Can you envision yourself putting your intimate feelings out there about what has just happened in your relationship, negative and positive? Like, oh my God, he brought me breakfast in bed. I was so happy. And it's all over Facebook.
Yeah.
And then he took me to this place, and then we did this, and we did that.
But so
Oh,
what's Facebook for
please.
then?
Excuse me?
What's Facebook for? What
Facebook
about those
is-
people who like, every time they go to a new restaurant, they take a picture of the restaurant, they take a picture of the plate, and they
Oh,
take a picture of the
please.
decoration,
With
and they
the-
take a picture of them in the car and the convertibles and the, exactly what's happening in their lives,
Yeah, really, really. I don't think your life is that interesting. That
Yeah.
you have to, every minute, a picture of the plate. I know. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's,
I
you're
touched
about
the
to eat
sensitive
that.
point. We've had this discussion before.
I know.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I
Okay,
don't-
so basically you're saying that guys don't like to be vulnerable and appear weak.
Well, as you were saying, the guy that did that on Facebook, right? And then why would you do that? That is so personal. It's so intimate. It's so close. Hang on a sec. It's so close. It's nobody else's business what you and your ex have managed to not accomplish or accomplish together, the breakup. Nobody wants to read about it. You're not going to get help on Facebook from your quote unquote friends.
You might.
Oh, jeez.
Did he get help? Apparently he said that you got tons of comments. Maybe he was looking for the sympathy.
He got comments, yes.
Yeah.
But it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Things will work out. Yeah, there's a helpful. That'll help. Thanks.
That's coming from people who don't know what to say. But
Well,
if he's in such shock,
Yeah.
it's better that he talks on, speaks out on Facebook than jumps off a bridge.
Go and take your private life.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, keep it private. And if you want help, go to a professional. And
That I agree with.
And that professional will give you perspective
Yes.
and will tell you things that you need to know in your heart of hearts
Mm-hmm.
because they're professionals. They know people. What do people on Facebook know about offering you advice as to what to do that your wife has just left you? Well, it was probably your fault anyway, bozo.
You know what? I agree with you, and that's one of the biggest problems with social media is that people are looking for answers out there, and they don't realize that every single divorce is unique. No two cases will ever be alike. No exes will ever be alike. So what worked for me is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. And they say, well, if you did it that way, then I can do it that way because that means that I'll get the same result as you. No. Like big no. That's not how it works.
No, exactly right. But
Yeah.
is that our reality today? That people will take themselves to social media and expose themselves, all things that were so verboten to be talking about in the past.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden people are talking about it and they're,
Yeah.
as you said, take a picture of your meals. And what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that it's, when someone goes out and airs out their life like that or something really sad, it's really just a sign of them crying out and saying, what the hell am I going to do with myself? So your friend didn't have anyone else, obviously, to turn to and felt either A, that he should embarrass her, by showing his guilt and his, shock. Or it was just a moment of a temporary moment of insanity and he decided to do something and didn't realize how bad it was.
Oh, good. Well, you know that delete button?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. Go back and take that post off.
Exactly.
Take it off.
Exactly.
By the way, men are hung up on past loves.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
And their new partners probably don't want to behave that way. Once, this is a psychiatrist talking here, I literally held a man as he wept for his ex.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wept. Holy jeez.
What?
All the while silently begging the universe to make him one day love the new girl the way he once loved her.
Oh my God, he's
so
screwed up, I would
okay,
run.
you gotta go. You gotta go. Well, and it says the last sentence here. By the way, it backfired for both of us. So, yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So,
imagine how insecure that makes you feel. I mean, one of the things I cannot stand is comparing me with the ex. She was a better cook than you.
Oh,
she knew how to do these things, and she knew how to do that.
This happened to you?
Oh yeah, it happened to me. It didn't last very long.
It didn't?
Yeah, it was just like, and I don't even know if he realized it at the time, but
Well, if those words are coming out of his mouth, may I suggest he knew exactly what he was doing. He was trying to upset you so you'd walk, because he didn't have the guts to walk himself.
No, because he didn't really say it in that way.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say it in the way like, he was kind of implying that maybe you should focus on your cooking skills a little more, or, she knew what to make and she was a fantastic chef, but not in a way that he was like rubbing it in, but it was bypassing enough that at one point I said, you know what? She is not here. I am. And if she was such a great chef and you liked it, you should really get back with she and not with me, And then he's like, no, that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. I'm like, yeah, but that's what came out.
Yep.
So either you like my cooking and you lie and eat it and shut up, or don't ask me to cook anymore and I won't.
It came to that, eh?
Oh, yeah. No, I was getting really tired of being compared. But it's true. They don't give up. You know what? Sometimes they're hung up, not because they love her. It's because there was something that they liked about that relationship that they might not necessarily have, or something that they're absolutely looking for, and not everybody has that particular quality.
What? Sometimes when in a relationship, you're comfortable when there's nothing being said and you're not uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
So cool.
I know. And if there's a silent moment, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And each one...
Be silent. It's okay.
And you know what I like also is that when you can, like, sort of have your independence, each one of you, and let's say you come home from after being out and about, and I go on the couch, and he goes in the kitchen, and he does his thing, and I do mine, and we each relax in our own way, and then we come back together, and like, okay, what are we doing now? Like we kind of each had our downtime. Like I don't like those kind of guys that like always feel like they have to be glued to me all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I need to breathe. Give me some air.
And when you go outside of the relationship for different experiences with your friends, you bring that back to the relationship and you enrich it with those experiences. And likewise with him, he's out there, with his friends or having his different experiences. He comes back and enriches the relationship on his level by sharing them with you. So it's good to be alone with someone else. It's good to be not with the person you love desperately, and it's good to be away from them. And then when you come back together, you're richer. The relationship is enriched. Everything is just wonderful. But if you're just so focused on each other that you have the same jeans with the same purple jacket, the same white running shoes.
That's too much. And not only that, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and it's true when you're dating. You need to have the time also to pay attention to, the little things like how is he going to come back after a night out from his friends? Is he going to be drunk and hungover the next day? Is he, going to be lazy the next day because he's thinking of all the great fun that he had and how he'd rather not be with you? Is he excited to be with you? I mean, I think that time apart is critical, but especially at the beginning of relationships, we seem to stick too much together, and I don't like that personally. I'm not that type. So, so basically, we talked about coping after a breakup. Now, my question is, in your past relationships, Murray, how long did it take you until you started dating post-divorce?
Couple months.
What? Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Dating seriously?
No.
Okay.
Dating.
Okay.
The man's got to feel he's still got it going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that he hasn't lost his talent or his skill after all those years together.
Yeah.
I hear ya. I don't know if women feel that way so much. I think that it really depends on whether it was a sexless marriage or end of marriage, and that certainly destroys someone's ego or self-esteem, and they just need to feel that confidence, like, okay, I still got game, I'm still good.
Yep.
So tune into the next show, because we're going to be talking about how being single will kill you faster than obesity. Yeah, it's pretty scary. So join in on the conversation on Facebook and LinkedIn at Ravit Rose, Ravitrose. Have yourself a day that matters.